representing Palm Desert High School, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Roll call will reflect that all board members and cabinet are present, as well as our newest student board member, Jacqueline Gonzalez. Dr. Mabel-Mar.
Thank you very much. We're very excited to have our new student board member here with us, and I want to just tell you a little bit about her, and then we'll go down front and do the oath of office together. Jacqueline is currently a student at Palm Desert High School. She is a senior this year, and she cites her highlights during her educational experience at Desert Sands as Math Field Day, being an Avid, being Student of the Month, which is not surprising, being an ASB for all 4 years, and being the executive president in her senior year. Her hobbies include listening to music, playing soccer, dance, traveling, and art. Her leadership experience consists of being the Vice President of Philanthropy, Freshman Class Secretary, Executive Treasurer, Executive Vice President, and Executive President. She doesn't have very much leadership experience. It's so sad. I'm kidding, of course. She volunteers with Summer Link Crew and has an impressive 300 hours of volunteer service through National Charity League. That is pretty awesome. Yeah. We asked her to tell us something interesting about herself, and she said she has played soccer for 13 years. She enjoys jazz music and loves volunteering at the Alzheimer's Club Journey, which is fantastic. So wonderful. If you want to join me down front, we'll do the oath of office. Assuming that I can find it. There it is. Okay, here we go.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of April 16th, 2024?
So moved. Pierce.
Is there a second?
Second, Porras.
Any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question, preferential vote.
I make a motion.
Say aye.
Sorry, aye.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0 with one preferential vote. Board meeting addenda. Dr. May-Volmar, is there any addenda to tonight's agenda?
Yes, there is. There was a typographical error in the agenda. Items number 58 through 64 on the certificated attachment under item 28.1, summer school programs, needs to be amended so that the summer school assignments read as follow: assignments for the 2024 summer school.
Thank you. Approval of agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda of the regular meeting of May 7th, 2024?
I make a motion.
Is there a second?
Gonzalez. Second, Porras.
Any discussion? Hearing none calls for the question preferential vote.
Aye.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0. Community Staff Student Recognition, Dr. May Volmar.
Yes, I would like to invite, for what I think is one of the last 3 times
It is.
that Mary Perry will be doing this, to
Yeah.
come forward and present this section.
22 more days of work. I know. And I'm going to love every one of them. So thank you again for the privilege of coming up and introducing you to students and staff who receive recognitions throughout the past 2 weeks or month, depending on when the meeting was. So for the first one, I'm going to invite someone up to join me, someone you all know, and that's Dr. Farah Ortega-Choate from La Quinta Middle School. Farah? So you may remember earlier this year, I think it was this year, right, that Farah received a Jostens Renaissance Teacher of the Year. Well, now we have a middle school student, and that's pretty unusual, right? So Farah's going to tell you about the award and tell you about the young man who's receiving it, and then she will invite 2 representatives from Jostens Renaissance to come up here. And I have to tell you that one of them I have known since my daughter was in high school, and she was the editor of her yearbook, and he was her Jostens rep. So, Chris, we go way back. We do. I know, sorry. Farah, it's all yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think, as an educator, I think you can all understand, like, even better than us receiving an award, it's our students. And that we do everything for them. It's all because of them. And so I'm totally going to get emotional because I absolutely love this human being known as Damian Gutierrez. I'm going to read to you what I wrote when we submitted. And I don't usually submit names. They have to be a rock star. I have a lot of amazing leadership kids, but they have to be a true rock star in the leadership world. And Damian was up against kids from across the entire country. Typically, they pick high school students. Even people, when it posted, they're like, a middle schooler got it? And I was begging them, saying, you don't understand, this is my last chance to have Damian win this award because he'll be off to La Quinta High School next year. And so I'm going to read what I wrote about Damian. Damian is an 8th grader at La Quinta Middle School STEM Academy. When you look at Damian, you see the perfect student. He is outgoing, kind, and a great leader and scholar. After Damian saw our first Renaissance rally during his 6th grade year, he walked into my classroom and said he had to be a part of Renaissance. I hesitated because he had not applied the year before, like the other students in the class, and my class was already full. He approached me over and over again until I finally said yes, and our Renaissance program and school have never been the same. Damian is pure magic on the stage. He is typically our lead performer and knows how to put on the best show in order to entertain and recognize our students and faculty. Damian's magic does not stay on the stage with him. In fact, he spreads his magic to everyone around him. He shines his light on others and is always looking for ways to make sure every student and faculty member on our campus is seen, heard, loved, and celebrated. And a testament to this is the people in the room that are here for him this evening. It's some of his peers in the leadership program. We have our amazing administrators, our assistant principal, Mr. Goldman, our principal, Ms. Wood. We also have our custodian is here. We have paraeducators. We have teachers that don't even have him as a student, but that's who Damian is. He is just completely loved, and like I said, this isn't just a local award. This isn't just the city, our district, the state. This is a national award, and this is huge. He will be recognized this summer in Florida in July, and so I can't say enough about him. And with that, Jostens has 3 major parts. It has yearbook, it has scholastic, which you think of the class rings and caps and gowns, and then it has Renaissance, which is all about school culture. And these are the kids that are changing and improving our school culture on a daily basis. It's all them, and I just get to see the magic happen. And Damian, for the last 3 years, has helped spread that magic on our campus. So without further ado, we'll bring up our 2 Jostens reps. We have Chris Joy, who is our yearbook representative. And of course, we have Christian Luna, who is our scholastic rep for our area as well.
Sure. For those of you, you may hear a lot of words that don't sound familiar to you, words like staffalty, words like Renaissance, really, Jostens has a program that we have been doing for, gosh, I can't even remember how many years it is, but it's been a grip of years, right? And it is, our Renaissance program is basically a framework. They say it better than I can ever say. Jostens Renaissance is a framework for building culture where teachers love their jobs and students thrive. So really, it's all about creating a place where teachers and students love Mondays, right? And that's a really hard thing to do. It's not something that you can do alone. Dr. Farah and I both completely believe that being a part of this program is not because of you, it is about you. And very rarely do you get to bump into somebody with the qualities and characteristics that Damien has. And so when he was nominated for this, it is a really big deal. This is national recognition for your school, for your program, and for Damien, and it's very, very well deserved. Please congratulate Damien Gutierrez on a national. Yeah, you gotta come up, absolutely. Great. And will you stand with Farah? We'll take a picture, the two of you.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll take a group photo outside, everybody from
Just
Lakeisha Middle
real
School and family. No, hold that up.
Perfect. You're quite a man. Awesome. Congratulations. Thank you.
And I'm doing a shout out to the family because we don't do this alone. So to Damien's family, thank you so much.
Okay, so if you're here for Damien, stand up. I want to see how many people are here for Damien. Wow. Well, congratulations, Damien. We're all very proud of you. So you may have noticed there's a new banner outside in the hallway. And if you didn't, I encourage you to look on your way out this evening. And it is, I have to put my glasses on for this, even though it's 22-point type. So DSUSD has been honored with the Best Communities for Music Education designation from the National Association of Music Merchants, NAMM, for its outstanding commitment to music education. And this award is presented to districts demonstrating outstanding achievement for providing music access and education to all students. To qualify for this designation, DSUSD answered detailed questions about funding, graduation requirements, music class participation, instruction time, facilities, support for the music program, and community music making programs. The responses were then reviewed by the Music Research Institute at the University of Kansas. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Michael Fleischman, Arts Project Facilitator, and his entire team. Mike, come take a bow. If you visited our art show this year, our district-wide art show, that was Mike. Love working with you. Thank you so much. I promise I'll see you at the next meeting.
Okay, introduction of new or recently promoted employees. Dr. Hyde.
All right, good evening, everyone. I'm excited to announce two new people to our management team. If I could ask Victor Labastida to come up forward to the dais, please. Victor earned his Bachelor of Science degree in Business from the University of Redlands. Prior to joining Desert Sands, he served as a maintenance and operations supervisor in a neighboring school district that will go unnamed. Victor enjoys going to the gym, watching and playing various sports, coaching his son's baseball team, and spending time with his wife and kids. Victor, welcome to the district. Please introduce any guests you might have and say a few words.
So first off, I want to thank all board members and cabinet for the opportunity to serve the Desert Sands Unified School District. I'm truly grateful for this opportunity, and I look forward to the continued success of this district. I also want to thank the facilities department. My first couple of days here, I've been blown away with how professional and welcoming they've been. I feel tremendous support, and I'm extremely happy for my role and opportunity in this district. Unfortunately, my wife and kids wanted to be here. My oldest is feeling a bit under the weather, so my wife, like always, puts on the cape and is superwoman taking care of them at home. But I do have someone in the crowd supporting me, my mother. She's actually a fellow Desert Sands Unified School District employee. So once again, thank you so much for the opportunity, and I'm excited to contribute to the continued success here.
Okay, I'd like to introduce Cynthia Martinez, new program specialist in special education. Cynthia earned her Bachelor's of Arts degree in psychology from Cal State Fullerton and her Master of Arts degree in education and curriculum from the University of Phoenix. She has worked in Desert Sands as an education specialist at Reagan Elementary and Indio Middle Schools. Most recently, she has served as an instructional coach at Indio Middle School, a post she held for 2 years. Cynthia is grateful to her husband Eddie and her 2 sons, Vincent and Jackson, for their unwavering love and support, and her dachshunds, Kate and Leo, for their comic relief. Cynthia is thankful to the board and to cabinet for giving her the opportunity to serve our students and our community in her new role. She is very excited to learn and to grow as a professional in Desert Sands. Welcome.
Thank you.
If you have any guests, please introduce them and say a few words, please.
I have my husband Eddie and my son Jackson here tonight. My son Vincent, after a perfect season, La Quinta Blackhawks lost in round 2 of CIF baseball, so he's on the road right now. But but it was a great season. I'm just really excited and thankful, and it's a privilege to be here tonight to say thank you to everybody that has believed in me and allowed me to be here and helped me grow in my profession and help me support the students that we serve and the families that we are here to support. So thank you.
Okay, board and superintendent comments. Ms. Gonzalez, do you have anything?
Congratulations to Damien. That's really impressive, especially for being a middle schooler. Like, there's only up for you. So again, congratulations, and congratulations to everybody else entering the district.
Damien, I too wanted to congratulate you. I don't know how old Renaissance is, but it was going when I got here, and so that's quite a feat to compete against such a large group with such a long and traditional history of excellence. It proves to me and to everybody in this room what a stellar individual you are. I'm proud of you. Thank you for being here this evening. I'd also like to thank Victor. Welcome to Desert Sands Unified School District. I don't know where you came from, but we'll talk later. And of course, Cynthia Martinez. Wow, welcome also to Desert Sands Unified School District. The guy there next to you, I know Mr. Martinez. I think back we worked at James Workman together. Is that correct? And yeah, together for a while. So it's good to see you again, Eddie. Nice to be here. And I'd like to just take this moment. I love to see the green pins that were out here today. You know, May is Mental Health Month, and it stems back to the 1940s. It's over 75 years old, establishing and bringing to the attention to the citizenry of this country and to this world that it is a serious problem. And thanks everybody here for acknowledging that today. I think also too this week it was what, Nurses Week or something, or Nurses Day? There's a whole lot of days today, right? Just to mention just about a few. But again, folks, welcome and thank you for taking the time to come to our meeting today. It really means a lot to us when we see the population of the folks that we serve, the children that are here. It shows the support from the parents, the admin. I see everybody here that's come out, and it's not just for the new hires, Damien, okay? With all due respect, you shine. So thank you again. Congratulations, and keep going, right? I'm looking to take care.
Just want to welcome you to our board. I know it's going to be short-lived. But we're happy to have you here. Farrah, we can see your excitement, and of course you're so excited for Damien. What a great, you're just like Jacqueline said, you're just going to go up from here, so I really look forward to seeing all the wonderful things that you're going to do with your future, but congratulations. And I was saying, I think the whole audience is here for you, so it's pretty cool. Welcome, Cynthia Martinez. I thought that was so cute with the dachshunds. Trish is a dachshund person, so anyway, that's so cute that you talked about your little dogs. And Victor, I don't know where you're at, but anyway, congratulations and welcome. Anyway, it has been a busy month, so if you'll indulge me for I'm going to try to keep this short, but it really has been a long month so far. I attended the Arts Education Committee meeting with Dr. Watson. I also attended the annual ASB Leadership Dinner at La Quinta High School, where we met with high school leadership teams and discussed their schools, opportunities, spirit, and their future plans. The Blackhawks culinary students did an amazing job of preparing and serving a delicious dinner of chicken parmesan. Dr. Watson and I visited Carter, Franklin, La Quinta Middle, Truman, Washington Charter, Lincoln, and Palm Desert High School. Dr. Mae Vollmer and I attended the Riverside County Student Academic Awards Program, which celebrated the student achievement and exceptional graduates. And I just want to let you know that Desert Sands was represented by the following students: Abigail Barraza Ortega from Amistad, Brenda Ramos from Horizon, Maria Elena Barajas, Lorena C. Para Hernandez, and Sienna Rodriguez from Indio High School, Brian Logan Aguilar, Avery Marie Doyle, and Kiera Michelle Martinlock from La Quinta High School, David Wang and Vincent Parsi from Palm Desert High School, Frida Arriaga and Aiden Perales from Shadow Hills, Eugene Villanueva from Summit, and one student was selected from each district as an exceptional graduate, and Brian Logan Aguilar was from La Quinta, was the exceptional graduate. So congratulations to Brian. I also attended the Ophelia Project Luncheon with Trustee Pierce and Dr. Mae Vollmer, where all of our senior Ophelia girls received scholarships. I attended the John Glenn Middle School Avid, what is that called? Recognition. I also attended the oh God, I just did the wrong, anyway. Student of the Year Awards today. Sorry guys, it's been a long month. With Dr. Mae Vollmer, where La Quinta High School, Adeline Godno, and Shadow Hills Schools, Ictali Natividad were chosen. And also Community Partner Scholarship Awards were from Altura Credit Unit awarded Ryden Zamora from Indio High School a scholarship, and Sun Community Credit Union awarded Cameron McLaughlin from La Quinta High and Frida Arriaga from Shadow Hills High. We had our very first State of Education report, where our students gave highlights to what opportunities we offer at each high school and how they are thriving, and our assistant superintendents provided an overview of each department. It was very well attended by our community leaders, elected officials, and staff, and Nutrition Services provided a delicious breakfast. And today I attended the RCOE Celebration of Educators with Trustee Pierce and Dr. Mae Vollmer. And I didn't make the list of everybody that we had. Anyway, we had several people that, I'm sorry. But that's it. I just also want to say happy birthday to Mike Duran. Today's his birthday, so happy birthday to Mike Duran.
Happy birthday. 36.
I'm on my 14th quinceañera plus. Just in case you want to know out there, all right? I have a hard time saying the number, but I've got 4 quinceañeras under my belt.
Anyway, and also I just want to also say happy Mother's Day to all the moms, and we wouldn't be here without you. So anyway, that's all I have. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. So you can see the excitement on Farah. She's so happy to introduce her student, Damien, and just want to say congratulations, echo the sentiments of everyone before me, but well deserves her, and we wish you the best of luck in all your future endeavors. I'm sure you'll go far. And Jacqueline, welcome. Good to see you again. Mike, thank you for your work with our arts, and we really appreciate those components of our education. Victor Lavacida, good to see you again, sir. Good to work with you too. I know you're going to do an amazing job here, so good catch, Desert Sands. Cynthia Martinez, welcome to the family, and we hope that you have the success and supports you need, and if you need anything, we have a great team to support you. Attended some of the same events that have already been mentioned, our ASB teams from across the high schools. What's good to know is that we have something for everyone, whether you're attending Palm Desert, to India, to Shadow, to Horizon, Amistad, Summit. It's a little bit of everything, but you can all find a place here at Desert Sands, and that's great to know. Student of the Year Awards were heavily represented at the Valley-wide Student of the Year Awards, so kudos to all the students who are putting in that effort to make their dreams come true and getting recognized with scholarships, which is always a healthy plus. Dia de los Niños event was held at Reagan, and it was a great opportunity to just see what they're doing with our dual language program, so kudos to that team. Attended the District Advisory Committee. It's great to just have an opportunity to hear what feedback parents are giving and what things we're also offering our parents and community. Would like to ask the support of our principals and state and federal projects to reach out and make sure that those schools, that every school is being represented. There's some opportunities there that we can capture to ensure that your site reps are attending the meeting. Mental Health Month is here, and we can't do it without you guys. So wherever you're at, there are many of you who support this cause, and it's critical to have that success. Last week, we had school nutritional services employees, and they are amazing. So we want to thank our school nutritional services teams for all the work that they do, our nurses, Teachers Day, National Teachers Day. So collectively, there are so many people who deserve that recognition, and if you can ever drop them a note just to say thank you for your efforts, I'm sure they'll appreciate that. And that's about all I got.
Probably tired of hearing us talk, but I too want to congratulate you, Damien. It sounds like to get those kind of accolades and this kind of support, you are a rock star, and I can't wait to see what you do in high school. Was that your little sister you were holding? Oh, wow. That's nice. Anyway, also thank you to Dr. Fleischman for his music leadership, and I can't wait to see more music getting in the classrooms and the schools with that Prop 28, as much as they've funded it, that we can make that work for everybody to have going, and so I appreciate all you do for that. And congratulations on the appointments for Victor and Cynthia in your new jobs, and good luck with your new positions. This past month, I visited 5 schools: Franklin, Head Start, an amazing, fun little place right here at the district office, Carrillo Ranch, Hoover, and Madison, and saw some wonderful programs and got to walk around the campus and see the things that the kids are doing in class. Also, I really enjoyed the ASB leader dinner that we had at La Quinta High. We rotate around to all 7 tables of the high schools and get to talk to their leadership team. It's kind of like speed dating, but it's speed talking, and you just have to move around and get to know all the kids and what they're looking forward to doing in their lives, and I really enjoy that night. Also, I dropped by at Middle School Math Field Day. I love that event, and hopefully we can get more middle schools involved in the Valley. We had Peter Pendleton coming over from Coachella, and a couple others, and we need more middle schools to participate, so it's even larger, so we can really fill out John Glenn Middle School and get more activities over there. So, yeah. And I went by on a Saturday to see Franklin was having an Earth Day, and they had the support of La Quinta City to give some things for the kids, and the kids had choice of going to one session before lunch and after lunch, and they got to eat lunch and do all kinds of Earth Day activities, so that was a great event. I enjoyed coming by the Extended Learning Opportunity Program Vendor Showcase. It was over at District Office North, and they had like a STEM and math type or STEM section, and then they had an arts, fine arts and music section of the different people in our community that put on, that we contract with to do all these after-school programs. Something that I hope never goes away. That was the best thing the state did ever since Schwarzenegger started the ACES program, so kids had free place to go without parents having to pay. But the kids are loving to be there and getting to do archery, dance, I don't know, just so many things that it's just the best thing, and they're bringing on more programs all the time. I also attended the Ophelia Lunch and John Glenn Middle School Avid Recognition as a demonstration school. Went to our first State of the Desert Sands School District, which was attended by community members and students, so that was great. Also, Trustee Porras and I stopped by Supervisor Manuel Perez's office. He has an open house in this, up above second floor in Old Town La Quinta, and he was just being there to listen to, we want to go back at a time when it wasn't crowded, but they had great chicken mole, but but go back and talk to him about different issues we have in our area for him as a county supervisor. And also I went by to my first bot ball tournament. It's the robotics things that they had a high school one, and then they had an high school, middle school, and elementary division at La Quinta High School that was for the whole of Southern California. They were sponsored it there, and to watch the kids program their Roombas with another device on it that could grab things, and they have to go on certain trails. I mean, it's beyond me, but everything is done with coding, which is a big future job for kids. And the last thing is we went to our educators luncheon in Riverside County, honoring all the teachers of the year and administrators and classified of the year for the whole of Riverside County. So that was my busy month as well. I did miss Elementary Battle of the Books, and I never heard who won, but nobody knows. I'll find out. Who?
Van Buren.
Van Buren. Oh, wow. That was amazing. Okay. All right. That's it for me.
Okay, I'm going to be quick. Congratulations, Damien. Ms. Porras and I were at your school a few weeks ago, and Farah could not gush more about you just like she did here. So we already knew about it, and we were excited to see you in person. So congratulations. But also thank you to every single one of you that came out here to support him, because he wouldn't be who he is if he wasn't making a difference in all of your lives. In addition to the site visits that I had with Ms. Porras, I also visited Oliphant, Hoover, and Kennedy. I did attend the ASB event, which is actually one of my most favorite events to go to, because the pride that you guys, and I'm sure we're going to hear tonight from Palm Desert, have for your school is just, it's amazing. So I really enjoyed that event. I want to say thank you to our nurses for Nurses Appreciation Day. They're some of our kind of unsung heroes that we don't realize how much they do for our students. So we appreciate you. Our principals for Principal Appreciation Day. We appreciate all of our administrators. And then for Teacher Appreciation Week, obviously our students wouldn't be who they were, and we wouldn't be such an amazing district if it wasn't for our amazing teachers.
I just want to add a little piece of information to John Glenn being named a National Avid Demonstration School. They are the 223rd school in the nation to receive that title out of 8,000, I think, over 8,000. So really huge recognition for them. So super just proud of all the staff and the students there. And Damon, congratulations. Very, very well deserved. I've seen the magic, and we're excited to see what your next few years in Desert Sands have in store. But congratulations. We're very, very proud of you. Definitely deserve that acknowledgement. And then it is, as has already been mentioned, April and May are chocked full of different staff appreciation days, today being the National Day of the Teacher. So definitely want to give a huge shout out to all of our teachers who honestly pour themselves out day in, day out, giving all their talent, all their passion, all their care. What you do really is heroic. So thankful for all of our teachers. But honestly, it takes every single employee in the district doing the work that they do day in and day out to ensure that our students have everything that they need, whether that's transportation to school, clean facilities, a meal to have, things revolving around safety and security. Genuinely appreciate every single one of our employees. So I hope that throughout the next few weeks, each and every one of you genuinely feel that, how much you're appreciated and how deeply valued you are, because you really do make DSUSD what it is. So appreciate you so much for that, and just wanted to share that.
Okay, I'd like to give everyone the opportunity at this time to go and celebrate with family and friends, unless you would like to stay for the remainder of the meeting.
Not gonna get the screens to work.
Oh, no.
To let Mike know. To let Mike know.
Oh, she's right there by the secretary. Yeah.
Okay, public comment on open session items. Communications from the floor in accordance with bylaws of the board number 9323. Time is reserved for oral communication by members of the Board of Education or by citizens. Citizens wishing to be heard on agenda items, regular or special meeting, and or non-agenda items within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board, regular meetings only, shall have a 3-minute time limit. A total of 20 minutes will be reserved for public comment on each item. The board president, with concurrence of the board, may extend this time if deemed appropriate due to the number of citizens who wish to speak on an item. In accordance with the law, the board cannot take action on any matter not appearing on the agenda, as indicated in bylaws of the board number 9232.2. Individual speakers shall be allowed 3 minutes to address the board on each agenda, regular or special meeting, or non-agenda item, regular meeting. The board shall limit the total time of public input on each item to 20 minutes. Please be advised that there is a possibility that some items discussed during public comment will not be developmentally appropriate for minors. We ask that parents use their discretion when choosing to remain in the boardroom during public comment. If you choose to leave the room, you may wait in the overflow location at the end of the hallway, and you will be notified when public comments have concluded. We have one online public comment from Ale Dominguez. My son attends James Earl Carter Elementary, and for 6 months there has been one site monitor for TK and Kinder. My son has come home with head injuries which no one saw happen. Last one was a hematoma with a contusion. He has been injured by another student several times, and thankfully he spoke up and told someone, otherwise no one would know either. I witnessed this same student drop him on the floor and get on top of him. So I yelled at the site monitor to get him off. Among other things I have seen, they need to hire more help. Okay, Larissa Yancey. In the microphone.
Hello? Pull it.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Thank you for this opportunity to be able to express my concern. I'm a parent of a 5th grader at Franklin Elementary. He has been receiving special education services all of his education. I don't want to show any lack of appreciation for the attempts that have been made to provide him services. My concern is that he was diagnosed with mixed dyslexia last year. So before that, we could not figure out why he was unable to read. So with that diagnosis, I was very excited. My excitement was unfortunately short-lived because although he is receiving services and makes progress every year, the services that he is being offered are not individualized and they are not specific to his needs. With mixed dyslexia, there are certain programs such as Orton-Gilliam system that would better serve him and his specific needs. His special education teacher does have a certificate in Orton-Gilliam system. Unfortunately, the certificate does not make her an expert. Although he is receiving services every single day, my son is going to be 10 years old this year. And based on his last progress note that was provided to me this month, he can read 8 words out of 10, 2-syllable words. He's 10. There are other programs that are available in the world. I've done my own research, such as the Barton Reading and Spelling System that goes much farther than any other Orton-Gilliam system. Instead of stopping at a 7th grade level, this system will take students at least to a mid-9th grade level. Unfortunately, I was told by my son's IEP team to accept the fact that he would never be grade level. I don't accept that. My son is very intelligent, and if he could have the intensive specialized services that really are legally his right, there is no ending at the possibilities that he can achieve. Mixed dyslexia is a severe form of dyslexia, but it's not a reason for him to be unsuccessful. I'm sorry that I've had to bring this attention to the school board, but I just really felt strongly that you should be made aware of your student that is 10 years old and has made progress to the point where he can read 8 to 9 out of 10 2-syllable words. I appreciate your time, and I, as an advocate for my son and a social worker at heart, anything that I can do, any information that can be provided to me to make this service available, please let me know. Thank you.
Danny Oswood.
Good evening. I am here tonight to speak to you as a 25-year educator, DSUSD teacher, parent, coach, and concerned citizen. The DSUSD value that I'd like to address this evening is relationships. Healthy and positive relationships are vital in any school environment. I have worked with some amazing people in my 25 years, and I can honestly tell you that the adults who work at schools want what is best for all of their students. We want them to become educated and well-rounded individuals who discover their passions and are able to contribute to their communities and societies in a positive way. Education is not a passive entity. It requires involvement and participation from students to be successful. Students have to be in classrooms with their teachers to receive the best education that we can give them. Sadly, we are seeing an increasing trend of absenteeism and late arrivals to school. It is extremely difficult to build an educational foundation with students who are not in class. At the high school level, some students arrive 30 to 40 minutes late into a class, having missed most of the instruction time. Some students arrive at school on time, yet refuse to go to their classes. It becomes a shell game of hiding out and evading security personnel. Some students blatantly disregard adults asking them to go to their classes. Some students can be dismissive to adults, acting as if they cannot hear them or are constantly talking back. Constant disruptions in students acting out only serves to lessen everyone's learning experience. It is disruptive when students come in and out of class and instruction has to halt as teachers deal with behavior issues. Here's where the relationship piece comes in. Please work with school personnel to establish positive relationships with students. Answer the phone when schools are calling. Don't tell us that students are our problem for the next 7 hours. We need parents and guardians to work with school staff to keep their kids in school and in classrooms. Kids act out, but it's our responsibility as adults to guide them away from negative behaviors and to hold them accountable for their actions. Explain to them why it's important that they are in school and that there is an expectation of how they should engage in their education. Challenge is good. In fact, it is healthy. School should be a challenge. It is through struggle that we learn to adapt and to grow. Talk to your kids. Create healthy relationships with school and district personnel. All of us have become too quick to blame each other. Let us create a culture of cooperation and collaboration. We all want what is best for our children, and that is for them to have a safe and productive learning environment. Thank you.
Jardri Daniel.
All right. Hello. Most recently, my family has dealt with some incidences at one of your schools, and the horrible incidences at this school has just been going on and continually, and several parents of my children's schools don't even want to send their kids to the school anymore, like 2 to 3 years out. And this school actually is Desert Ridge Academy. A member of my household went there, and only 3 months later, we had to remove him because there was a lack of discipline of your students. The very first month he was there, he bought a soda from a student that was $1.50 with an online exchange, which I guess shouldn't be happening anyway, but the student later said he didn't want it that way. He wanted it in cash, and then said he wanted $3, and then all that happened was pretty much a slap on the wrist. Another incident with this other children, I'm sorry, go back for a second. He said that if he didn't pay him the $3, that he was gonna get his boys to take care of it. Isn't that like gang activity? Is that something that should be taken care of, and isn't it not a school rule that you shouldn't be selling anyway? I have a lot to say, I'm sorry. Another activity was a student grabbed his lanyard from him and yanked it off his neck, and that's what happened. He was afraid to tell us that's what happened. He said it just broke at first. I'm jumping here, I'm so nervous, I'm sorry. Students were throwing racial slurs at him, saying that they were gonna, and only warning was given to them. I'm sorry. This is hard, I'm sorry.
It's okay, don't be nervous.
Can you stop the clock?
Yeah. Okay, later on, some of these bullying girls, like they were 13 and 14 years old, were sending nasty messages to him, calling him the N-word, a slave, that they were gonna cut his private off and hang him, that they knew where he lived and they were gonna come and bomb our house. Like, we have text messages if you want proof of this. They were given awards for achievements, and our family feels like, what kind of achievements are you giving these children if they're gonna act this way? And the school can't control them. The principal said he was taking care of this incident, which happened after we had to remove him from the school because he was afraid to go anymore. And he said that he had submitted for the girl to get expelled, but that might not happen because apparently that's not how you guys deal with things these days. And how is this allowed? Students are walking around like they own the schools. And I'm sorry. I also learned that one of the students at DRA was sent in the hospital because another kid ran up on him and choked him out. Like, this is something serious that's going on at this school. No kids want to go there. My daughter and her son are in elementary school, and other parents are telling me they don't want to send their kids to this school. That is one of the worst schools, and what are you guys gonna do about it? Are you guys really gonna discipline them? Lean on me? Start taking things away? Can I keep going? Or, okay.
Jay Alexander.
Evening, everybody. Everything she just said was all true. We're bus drivers. My coworker and I, we see, hear a lot of the things that go on at these schools. Honestly, I hate coming up here having to talk about all this because it's unnecessary. My coworker has brought up multiple times about bus stops and the placement of the bus stops, how they're riding the city bus, and how they're crossing streets in packs, not looking both ways. We've seen them almost get ran over by buses ourselves. We see it. They don't look both ways, just walk. How is that okay for you all to approve that? I have no idea. The thing about it is, with us in the district, we're here to take care of the children. Our main focus is to get them ready for life. So it's not just teaching them math and English. It's also teaching them, right from wrong, what's appropriate to wear, which is my next topic. But back to my coworker, what's got to happen? Somebody got to get hit, killed, for anybody to do anything. I get it. I don't agree with it, but I get it. People don't care because their children's not at the bus stop. But that's the wrong attitude that we have right now. We need to get rid of that. And just like Lady was saying just a little while ago, it seems like the staff and everybody is scared of the children. I'm not. I don't play that kind of stuff. I'm a bus driver. I also take that responsibility of also trying to teach the children while I'm on the bus about right from wrong. Another issue I've had, dress code. This month, it's been a year, and nothing has been done. For me to be an employee here, and this is how I'm being treated, where I'm seeing something that needs to be fixed, and we're seeing this stuff firsthand. So it's like, see something, say something. What's the point of saying something and nothing being done? My issue is, it gets me upset because I'm also a father. And when I sit there and I talk to members up there, nobody does anything about it. I'm being ignored, seems. And then I finally get a call today from the office that they want to have a meeting with me next week. I appreciate that, but I don't need that. I don't need that on board meeting night. I've been trying to contact you for the past 2 weeks and nothing. So I'm trying to be respectful when I'm up here, to be honest with you, but it's like I'm getting really sick of it because, like you said, we're causing all this stuff ourselves by being weak adults.
Okay, information, Head Start program reports for January to March 2024. 15 staff conference items, Dr. May Volmar.
Yes, we are going to start with the Palm Desert High School ASB report, so I'll turn it over to our student board member.
Hi. So we are Palm Desert ASB, and we have a little video presentation for you. But first, I did want to give a little spiel. So first off, I would like to just notice that this is kind of a full circle moment. When I was in elementary school, I went to James Monroe, and they offered me a position to speak at the district to the board, and my elementary school principal was actually back there, Mr. Kent. Hi, nice to see you. Hopefully you don't mind me calling you out, but I just wanted to point out that this is just a very surreal moment, and it feels very special to me. And for those of you who don't know, I'm Yurtsi Gonzalez, and I'm a senior at Palm Desert High School. I plan on attending the University of Oregon, and I have been granted the Academic Summit Scholarship. I'll be majoring in kinesiology to someday be a physical therapist with my own practice. I would like to take a moment to introduce my family. My parents are right there. I think my brothers went outside. The little baby was him. And then I have all of my family and friends out there. Thank you for coming. And I would also take a moment to introduce the ASB class. Thank you guys for coming and supporting. And in the back, we also have Coach K and Mr. Mazzei. I can't express enough how much they do for our school, and I really, truly appreciate you both. And Coach K, you have always been my number one since freshman year, so thank you for that always. And Mr. Grandmain, actually right there, if you can wave. He helped us work on our video that you're about to see, and I just want to say he's such an amazing teacher to work with, and thank you so much for taking the time to work with us. And there's also a lot of our staff out there, and I would also take a moment to introduce Ms. Saig right there, if you want to wave too. Thank you so much for helping us throughout this video and the process and helping us brainstorm. You truly are appreciated, and you're an absolutely supportive and amazing principal, and I hope you always remember that we love you and thank you. And us students worked on this video together to show all the aspects of Palm Desert. And students also from our film and broadcasting pathway filmed and edited the video. So this is all the student body. And unfortunately, he's not here, but I do just want to give him a shout out. Thomas Trin, he is a part of the pathway, and he is absolutely amazing. Really appreciate him. And all of the PD statements you'll see in the video were also actually collected from a collaborative activity at a staff meeting that contributed to our video. Thank you so much to you guys as well, the cabinet, for having me and being a part of this unique and learning experience. It'll truly be something I never forget, and thank you so much for allowing me to have this opportunity. And I would just like to emphasize that our sports are doing absolutely amazing. Baseball actually won 8-3 against Tustin, and they're off to, I think, quarterfinals. And thank you to Jostens Yearbook for helping us out through everything. And thank you so much for coming and supporting me. I really do appreciate you all. Now we have the video to show what Palm Desert is all about.
Hello, my name is Yurtzi Gonzalez. I am a senior at Palm Desert High School, and I'm the executive ASB president.
Hi, my name is Soraya Ramos, and I'm a senior, and I'm the president of Aztec Impact.
Hello, my name is Sebastian Hernandez, and I'm a senior, and I'm a Link student.
In the associate student body, we plan things such as dances and athletic events, and we try and get the whole school together and unite in school spirit.
Aztec Impact is the Renaissance class of our school. Here we strive to build an encouraging and supportive community amongst our students and staff members.
Link Crew is made up of an encouraging environment for all future freshmen and all students around the campus. It's also a way of welcoming staff and students around the school.
We are personable and dazzling.
I'm Parker Fennell, and I'm the president of Ecology Club.
I'm Natasha, and I'm the founder of the Filipino Young Leaders Union.
Currently, there are 71 active clubs at Palm Desert High School.
Within these clubs, subjects can range from community service to diversity in our population.
We are passionate and dynamic!
Hello, my name is Mr. Pais. I am the coordinator for the Palm Desert High School Biomedical CT Pathway. We are a 3-year medical program.
And I'm Mr. Grandmain, and I'm part of the Film and Broadcasting program, which is a 4-year program.
Here at Palm Desert, we have a total of 6 career technical pathways, including engineering, biomedical, professional theater, professional dance, film and broadcasting, and also vocal music.
And the Film and Broadcasting course, as mentioned earlier, is a 4-year program. We teach industry standard skills and techniques. It's a hands-on program, both in front and behind the camera, giving students an opportunity to visit local NBC and ABC affiliate studios. Students also have an opportunity to work with the local filming market known as the Palm Springs International Film Festival, and many more.
In the Palm Desert High School Health Academy, students learn professional skills such as how to take vital signs, Also, next year, students will be taking a EKG national certifications. Students also have opportunity for an internship during their senior year.
We are destined for a positive and bright future.
Hi, I'm John Alcantara, senior at Palm Desert High School.
Hi, I'm Elijah Gregory Sweeney Bousquet, a senior at Palm Desert High School.
And we are part of the Performing Arts Center.
I'm specifically a part of professional theater.
And I'm a part of the marching band and jazz band here.
And so at Palm Desert High School, we have a lot of amazing arts programs. We have dance, cheer, theater, choir, and band.
Yeah, so I'm in marching band, and the reason why I joined marching band was to express my creativity and my passion for music. And I just love to explore music, and I love just diving into music.
Yeah, the reason I'm a part of professional theater is because ever since I was little, I loved performing. Dance. I started off dancing, but then I slowly moved into theater and doing musicals and plays, and I just found that so fun and fascinating. So yeah, I mean, all of our arts programs are really great. We are performers and directors.
Hi, my name is Dawson Johnson. I'm a former varsity football captain and also lettered in soccer and track.
I'm Katie Gallagher, and I'm a freshman, and I play on varsity basketball, varsity soccer, and varsity track. There are a total of 24 sports, and the new ones include cheer, beach volleyball, and girls flag football.
We had a total of 8 league championships this year. We had girls golf, girls tennis, girls soccer, and boys soccer, boys tennis, boys water polo, boys wrestling. We are proud and driven.
Hi, I'm Ezra Bogarine, and I'm an AP student here at PDHS.
Hi, my name is Amaya D'Souza, and I'm a sophomore here at PDHS. I take 2 APs and 1 COD class.
And I've taken AP in college courses since I was a freshman. So here at PDHS, we have a 97% graduation rate, and we are number 1 in the Valley for college and career readiness, and number 3 in the entire county.
Along with this, our Avid Peer Tutoring program, which is brand new, allows us to cater students and allows peer-to-peer training during office hours, so students can not only get help on any subject they need, but Avid trained tutors are allowed to pursue jobs at UC and CSU schools. We are proactive and diligent.
So Palm Desert, we offer office hours every Tuesday and Thursday. It's a great way to get extra help, retake tests, even do makeups within the school day. Everything built in our schedule is done with a thought process to move the kids forward. Also, we offer Aztec Gold. Aztec Gold is a great way for students who are doing what they're supposed to do, having success on our campus. They earn Aztec Gold points, and every other week the Aztec Gold store is open. They can come in, buy snacks. If they save up their points, maybe even get enough, buy their own yearbook, buy dance tickets next year. Great ideas that we have here at Palm Desert. Everything comes together. You've heard all the other people, and that is why we are the one PD. We are Palm Desert.
Well, that was fantastic. Thank you so much. Great job. I'm sure you didn't do it by yourself. You had some help, right? But I just wanted to say thank you. I know you're only here tonight just because of the scheduling with the end of the year, but we've all had the chance to interact with you throughout the year and have appreciated that experience very, very much and are so proud of you and so thankful for your leadership. I think that it was said really well earlier when the people were here for Renaissance, myself and the board and cabinet really recognize that what our ASB and our Renaissance groups across the district do is really contribute to an amazing climate and culture at the school. So we really appreciate the work that you do and what that means for students and how they feel connected to school and how that helps them to do better in academics as well. But on behalf of the board and myself, we have a plaque for you just to say thank you for serving this year as a student board member.
Do you want to make any comments? Okay. Ms. Forrest?
Oh, that was an amazing video. I loved it. It was great. You did a great job. I loved everything that you said, too, about Palm Desert. You guys have great spirit.
I just want to echo the same thing. I thought it was great spirit, and having that little tag of PD and everything you guys did, stands out. So it's quick to notice that. So good job to everyone who contributed to that. So looking forward to seeing what you guys are doing next time.
Thanking your ASB group and Renaissance and all you spirited people to keeping the climate and culture at your school welcoming to everybody, and always noticing that if people aren't taking part that you encourage that. I love the tutoring program with the AVID things that you mentioned. And also when I visited there a few weeks back, I learned about the Aztec Gold. I think that's always good incentive for kids to get free stuff just for doing the right thing. So thank you for coming tonight, and thank you for being here, Jacqueline. Oh, wait, I forgot. Which one is Jacob Alvarez's daughter? Stand up. Oh, hi. Okay. I just had to see which one you were. Thanks.
She's actually going to be our new exec treasurer, right? Secretary, new exec secretary. Yeah.
We are going to move on to our next presentation. We have a presentation on the heat mitigation plan, and I'll turn that over, I think, to Mr. Aquino to start us out.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, Superintendent Vollmer, and Cabinet. At the last meeting, Trustee Pierce requested a review of strategies we use to mitigate the impact of heat on our students, and Board President Watson requested an assessment of weather data after this summer for our October board meeting. Today, we're going to review some strategies our schools use during times of high heat, provide you with new updates from CIF regarding heat mitigation, and do a quick review of prior year temperatures and humidity levels. So why do we use heat index as an assessment tool? Heat index, basically it's the feels like temperature. Heat index measures how hot it feels to our bodies when you factor in both humidity and the air temperature. The higher the heat index, the hotter it feels. Our risk management department sends out heat notifications to our site administrators during times of high heat. In that email, we include not only the temperature and humidity level, but provide a safety recommendation based on where the heat index falls. So in the orange and red designations, there's strenuous activity should be avoided, and in yellow, strenuous activity should be limited. Here's a look at the heat index chart that we utilize. This is also the same chart that's utilized by the Arizona Department of Health. Sometimes the temperature is high, but the heat index is lower than the temperature itself, and that's because humidity plays a crucial role in how our bodies perceive heat. When humidity is low, sweat evaporates more efficiently from our skin, which can cool our bodies down. But when humidity levels are high, our sweat evaporates more slowly, making it harder for our bodies to regulate temperature. So just wanted to show you what the district uses, which is also the same chart that Arizona Department of Health utilizes. And how you read it is basically you look on the far left, you take the temperature for what it is for the day, measure it against whatever the humidity level is at that time, and it comes up with a humidity, a heat index. So with a temperature of 100 and a humidity at 35, the temperature feels like 107. I actually pulled this just from today, right before the board meeting. So at 3:33 p.m., according to wonderground.com, we had a feel-like temperature of 91% and 91 degrees. And so the temperature at the time was 96, and if you compare that to the humidity, the heat index for 3:33 today was 91 degrees, which also matches with the chart if you were to measure that up. As I said, we send out communications to our school sites, and both our directors are going to share with you the actions that are taken at the schools.
One question before, when I look at this chart, what is the magic number that it has to be at, the heat index, before you do the?
So the chart has the color codes. So depending on where the heat index falls, so the feels like temperature falls, it'll generate different actions based on if it's in the orange category, which is considered danger, and then in the yellow category, which is considered extreme caution. So at 3:33 today, based on this chart, that would be considered the extreme caution category.
So orange and red is when we close out going outside?
Yeah, we'll go further down in the presentation. We've never hit a red category, but we have hit the orange and yellow category with frequency during the hotter months like August, September, and June.
All right, good evening, board and cabinet. I have to say it before I get started, Jacqueline, I'm so proud of you. Congratulations. It's great to see you into a young woman, so good to see you and congratulations.
Nice to see you too. Thank you so much.
All right, as Mr. Aquino has just gave us an overview of the heat index and how we communicate that to sites, Dr. G and myself want to share about how do we respond to those heat indexes. So what does it look like at our elementary schools and our secondary schools as we respond? Our site administrators do such an amazing job at responding in a moment's notice in many situations, whether that be a sandstorm, lightning, heavy rain, gas leaks, lockdown, so many different things come up. And the through line is always having a plan for student and staff safety. So next slide. Dave, I'm going to give you thank you very much. As we know, the heat index can be an additional challenge because as the others typically last a day or a short time, the heat index can last over several consecutive days. As Mr. Aquino talked about, there's 3 index types. There's the yellow, which is extreme caution, and that typically, when you looked at those numbers, are the ones that fall in between the 90 to 104. And then there's the orange, which is danger, and that falls into that 105 to 129 category. And then there's that extreme danger, the red, and that's above 130. And as Mr. Aquino had mentioned, we have never hit the red, so let's hope we never do. But the site principals, though, have created an extensive heat mitigation plan to follow when we hit those certain thresholds as they respond appropriately to those guidelines. Though the guidelines remain the same for each color on how they respond to keep students hydrated and cool, it may look differently at every site because one size doesn't fit all. Each site has different structures, space, and challenges. So I'm going to share some overarching systems that we have in place to address the heat during recess, lunch, PE, and dismissal for elementary, and then Dr. G will share it along with those that pertain to secondary. So next slide. So the common through line here as we look at recess is if we fall in the yellow, or for all of these actually, the common theme is that students will have access to water, shade, and air conditioning during recess. If we're in the yellow, students will apply or will be able to play outside However, no strenuous activity. Orange and red, recess will be indoors, and this could be either in the classroom or the NPR.
There is no recess in secondary.
Next slide. And then we look at lunch. So the common theme here is students have access again to water, shade, and air conditioning if necessary. We also, if we're in the yellow, students will be able to eat at the tables, either with misters or porta-coolers, followed by outside. However, no strenuous activity, and there will be access to air conditioning if needed. However, at lunch, if we're in the orange and red, both eating and recess will be indoors. I'd like to turn it over to Dr. G.
We definitely have lunch at secondary schools, but the benefit at a secondary school is there's more options for our students to access. So very often our teachers sponsor clubs, so club activities are held in classrooms. We also have NPRs, but we also have bird cages and we have gyms that are available to our students.
All right, and then on to PE. So again, providing students access to water, shade, and air conditioning. If we're in the yellow, activities are modified by duration with water breaks. If we're in the orange and red, PE will be conducted indoors, either in the multipurpose room or a classroom.
Yeah, and similarly at the secondary level, we have gymnasiums where our PE classes can utilize those facilities, as well as classroom spaces, again, the NPR, dance rooms, etc.
And then, of course, the last one is dismissal. Students, again, having access to water, shade, and air conditioning. Students will be dismissed and will wait under shade structures or areas of shade. Students who are picked up late will wait in the office or in another air conditioning space. And I just want to take this time to really extend a huge shout out to our administrative teams, our educators, our support staff that keep kids safe during these extreme heat situations, because it's a challenge and it's not easy, especially when it goes from day to day to day. So a shout out to them. And I know I'm going to turn it over to Dr. G as he now looks at secondary with the CIF.
So as we look through the CIF lens, similar to our school sites, CIF has also recently taken action to address heat-related injury and illness through a recent passage of Bylaw 503K1, which is entitled Heat Illness Protocol. Part of the requirements of Bylaw 503K1 is to determine the safety of outdoor practices using a wet bulb globe temperature. And you can see that device, that orange device pictured in the slide. Wet bulb is a heat stress measurement. In other words, it takes into account not only temperature and humidity, but also wind speed and sunshine. So when they're looking at sunshine, they look at the angle of the sun as well as cloud cover. For many athletics across the country, WBGT is becoming more commonplace. Similar to our heat index and our school heat mitigation plans, when WBGT range is reached, so that threshold is reached, a response or action is taken. And you can see the 4 different colors on the WBGT guidelines. It's also important to remember that CIF and other WBGT users, which includes even the US military, recognizes 3 different zones in the United States. So 3 different categories are, you can see on that map, there's a green zone, a yellow zone, and a red zone. The green zone is primarily your coastal areas, your northern part of the United States, which tends to be cooler areas. The yellow tends to be that a little bit warmer. And then, of course, there's us in category 3 in the red. Regardless of the category, though, it's training that's key. So at our high schools, we take great pride in the fact that our coaches and our assistant coaches, our athletic trainers and our athletic directors all undergo very specialized training when it comes to heat mitigation and heat safety. You can see just a few of the trainings listed on this slide, but our coaches are all up to date before they work with our students. So we're very well equipped to identify not only the signs, but also respond to heat in our sporting events.
So we're going to go over some of the support systems that we have to help with heat mitigation. I will say, under the leadership of this board, has been doing a really conscious effort on making sure that we could mitigate heat in as many ways as possible. In addition to, at a previous meeting, and I'm saying this just so to capture it, that the board, if you weren't aware, at one of the facilities study sessions, the board approved, and this is outside of Measure A, $30 million worth of shade structures. Now those shade structures are going through a process. It's going to be a 2-year. We anticipate to 2026 because it involves planning, design, hiring the architects, DSA, the actual construction at multiple school sites. So that is currently underway. Outside of the outdoor covered eating shelters, with COVID, we've again leveraged. We purchased porta-coolers at a lot of our school sites to help with the heat mitigation. We've also added a window tint, which was a security measure, but also has a cooling effect on classrooms. The other thing that we've done, we basically replaced all of our buses to make sure that students are transported in air-conditioned buses. So that was another thing. Also, that was under the leadership of the board. Water bottle fillers at all of our school sites, and then in addition to the heat mitigation plans that the schools have. Part of the request was to analyze, I know it was for October, but we think it's a good idea that the board could kind of take a look at the last 2 years as far as the heat index to give an idea of what the different bands and actions necessitate based on how hot it is during any part of the month. So if you look here, this is the calendar for the 2022-2023 school year, and then the bottom one is for 2023-24. You can see the blue is the start date, and then the kind of yellowish is our school days. And those are the corresponding temperatures and humidity levels. Now, I will add the kind of a disclaimer that pulling data, especially if you're trying to go back 5 years, it's not really captured quite easily. So this data that was captured is a combination of both timeanddate.com, utilizing the 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. range, and also desertweather.com. Now, just again in full disclosure, some of the temperature readings were hard to gather from previous years based on the humidity level. So without looking at a specific time and hour of the day, the highest temperature was utilized in these charts and the lowest humidity level. And the reason for the lowest humidity level is typical in desert climates, where the high temperature leads to increased evaporation rates, resulting in lower humidity levels during the hottest part of the day. So that is what the data is reflected here on these charts. So those are for the last 2 years, and the corresponding heat bands that those temperatures and humidity levels reflect. You can see in August of 2022, 74% of the month was in the orange range, and in August of 2023, about 40% of the month was in the orange range. Looking beyond that into the 2019 through 2022 calendar years, you can see the start dates there again, the corresponding highest temperatures and humidity reading for those hotter parts of the year, and a reflection of the heat band during those times as well. Now, one thing in addition to anticipated increased heat levels, the district is considering purchasing some materials and supplies that will help with heat mitigation, and that includes tables if there is an interest for us to eat indoors during the hotter months, or however we flex how that works at the school site, and that's more for these guys. and carpet extractors at 11 of our campuses. So we feel that whether or not it's being used to eat indoors, those carpet extractors will be a good benefit for our schools to have just in general. Any questions?
Alvis?
So on, just to recap, so on orange and red, we're eating indoors. I don't see any red on this chart you gave us, but that's what we're doing, right?
Do you guys want to start on? They're asking
Jordan?
about orange heat index for eating.
So if they're in the orange or red, they will eat indoors for both of those, and then also play indoors as well.
Got it. Have you had an opportunity to sit down with the elementary principals and review their plan with them?
So yeah, we've had lots of discussion, and then we've also, part of their heat mitigation plan that they have is that part of everything that they do for each of those categories that we talked about, recess, PE, and after school and lunch are all part of that and how they're going to respond. For moving forward, there's been complications with schedules because a lot of this happened after the schedules were created. So meaning like if there's PE, and PE is expected to be in the multi-purpose room, and there's lunch, then that becomes complicated. So then having to create a lunch schedule where we spread out the lunches even longer than what they normally would, meaning maybe a grade level comes at a time. So they're having to get a little bit more creative in how they're going to provide lunch indoors, but they they're working on schedules as we speak to help with that.
So then the plans aren't ready yet?
They're working on their schedules now. I think they're just trying to get through this year, but they know by the before they leave that those expectations that there's going to be some kind of a plan in place for the schedules to be able to do that.
Got it. Yeah. Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes, I know for secondary, they basically all eat outside and there's not as much concern or option for that. And in elementary, when the big fans that we've purchased and the misting systems that are in place at some schools purchased by PTOs, it was my thought because a number of principals take the temperature. I mean, I know the heat index is out there in the sun, in the sun and the wind and whatever, and that heat index is being in direct sun, but when it's in a shaded area with the misting systems, with the fan, and they say they've actually, on an orange day, taken a reading of in the mid-80s, low to mid-80s is the temperature of the underneath eating area, then some are voicing that the indoor eating can always be accommodated for any students that need asthmatics or children that are susceptible to heat and would like that they can accommodate students in that way, not requiring that everybody eat there. The general format for elementary is 20 minutes eating by the time you get your lunch and sit down and eat, and then 20 minutes playtime. That way that the multipurpose room could be used for the indoor movie usually or whatever that they watch as they cool down or before they eat lunch. So I'm just wondering, because only 1 or 2 elementaries have, out of the 17 or 18, have the folding tables already. And with the cost coming in for the tables for all locations would be $500,000, including some of the carpet cleaners and stuff that could be used in the classrooms as well. And then the need to take out the carpet in some of the multipurpose room and replace it with flooring after some of them are fairly new carpet. I'm just wondering, with the number of days, we can all agree that 2022 was a really, really hot summer. And isn't the norm around here to have that level of humidity? It was, but most of all, it's about 9 to 11 days that are affected. And almost all the principals say they take into account this, that any kids can be accommodated to eat inside as well. But when you put the whole 150 kids in one section of the multipurpose room and then you're going to have to switch lunches all around to let the kids sitting in front watch a movie, and the noise level, and it gets to be a chaos. But the thing also is, I know that some schools have, and I don't think anybody got the costs yet, but for the district to take on the cost of adding misters to the school, the elementary school sites that don't have them yet, I really wanted to see what that would cost too, as compared to all the tables, because I think the misters with those huge 6 or 8 foot fans can really help lower the temperature, because you're in the shade too. And it's only for 15 to 20 minutes you're out there. That would allow the multi-purpose rooms, whether carpeted or not, to be used for the recess part. And also the PE, most school sites, there's only 2 or 3 that are maxed out for rooms. Maybe Washington Charter, Reagan, Earhart maybe. The rest of them have rooms to have PE done in a room or another space. And so I'm just thinking that I'm grateful for this temperature data, because in the years past, when our committee, when I used to be on the committee and we looked at this, we did look back a span of years and try to figure out, by moving back to get the calendar back where the rest of Southern California was and so forth, even though we're in the desert, that it worked out best for the high schoolers and so forth and the sports teams. And everybody's kid eventually gets up there to high school. So that's what we're looking at. But that I think that the principals know their population and what the kids that they have, that these kind of things could get mitigated by trusting them and having the decision to let them allow open seating to the kids that need it. Then that would not require tables to be bought for all the schools blanketly and saying, hey, you're going to figure this out. Everybody's going to eat inside the minute it gets to orange, because I think it can vary. And I think, they've shown that it is cooler underneath the shade structures than it is out in the sun. So that's just my thought.
Okay. I think everybody knows kind of my stance on this, and I do have some questions, and I hear what Trustee Pierce says, and a lot of it I'm going to have to disagree with, in the sense that we've had this discussion, and the heat mitigation is to go into effect basically now, correct? We're not planning on years from now, and the fact that we wouldn't be able to put misting systems in all of our schools before summer school starts is not equitable. And my children go to a school that has misting systems, and I'm not going to sit here and say it's okay for my kids to sit outside and eat lunch because we can keep that place cooler than another school that doesn't have the funds to put in a misting system. So I don't see the reason to justify not buying the tables for the days that the kids need to be eating inside. I think a lot of this stems from the discussion when we were talking about the calendar and changing the calendar. And I'll stand here and I'll say the same thing I've said before. I don't think our kids should be going to school in the middle of August. We did change the calendar by 2 weeks. I still don't think it's good enough. If you look at the heat index, if our kids were starting in September, the days are like 1 or 2 days in September. And this would be a moot point. I think that this stems from the conversation that prior to that vote that we had for the calendar, that principals were asked, can you do this? If you ask me, can I run a marathon and my livelihood depends on it? Yeah, I can run a marathon. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to look functional, and that's where we're at. You ask them, can they do it? They can do it. Is it functional? Not really. Are we wasting money on tables that are only going to be used for a few days? Yeah, but that's what we have to do, because I, as a parent, don't want my kids eating outside when it's 110 degrees. And my kids don't want to sit outside and eat when it's 110 degrees. And nobody in this room does either. And our kids deserve that. So, couple of questions. One, when Mr. Kent, you said recess in the yellow, that the students have access to go in the air conditioning, meaning they're going to have a place where they can have a recess, or they're going to go sit in the office.
There have been schools that have opened up the multi-purpose room for those students that choose office is an option, but it doesn't mean it's limited to just the office. A lot of it to your point is every site has different challenges, different spaces, different capacity, so it looks different and what they can offer looks different, but the options are always that there's a place that they can go to cool off if they need to.
So in those instances, and this might be more of a personnel question, do we have the appropriate amount of site monitors and substitute site monitors to fill the needs on those heat mitigation plans?
I'll go back and I'll look. Again, I know the board probably knows this already. When we have those inclement days, when it's really hot or when it rains, we have to do inclement weather. And I kind of look at rain and the heat, even though they're different pieces, that's still inclement weather. And so we adjust accordingly, but what I'll do is I'll look into our numbers and go from there. It usually takes some shifting of staff when we have an inclement day. As I'm looking at thinking about my formal time as a elementary school principal and how we had to shift when we had rainy days out in Yucaipa, or snowy days. And it's definitely, there's a plan in place, but certainly being able to provide more school site monitor support during the months where it's really hot would be a high priority for us.
Right. And I know that it's difficult to find site monitors. As you read in a public comment, or you heard from a public comment tonight, we're short of site supervisors, and I get that. And they do an amazing job, but they can't do everything. They can't see everything because we're so limited on what we have available. In the presentation, Dr. G, you said secondary students they all have the ability, including middle schools, to eat lunch inside.
They do have access in a variety of different ways. I think of schools that have the multi-purpose rooms and the bird cage. While the bird cages aren't typically air conditioned, they are out of the sun. You can take a porta-cooler and put it towards the bird cage and cool those areas off as well. If you've been to Colonel Mitchell Page during lunchtime, it's a thing of beauty. The powerful porta-coolers that are in play there definitely keep the areas not only out of the sun, but cooled off.
So something that's been mentioned multiple times in this presentation and in I believe our Friday letters, is that the students will be able to eat lunch in our libraries. Are our libraries made aware that students are going to be eating lunch in there, and are they okay with that?
Yeah, I think it's been met with mixed reviews, as you can imagine, but I think during extreme situations, I think they're more than happy to accommodate. I don't think they would want it as regular practice, but I think in those extreme situations, they're willing to adjust.
Another thing that was listed in the presentation was that all of our sites were provided portable insulated water jugs. I've never seen any, and I've asked schools, do they have them? And everybody I've asked has said no. Mm-hmm. So are those going to be ordered, or are they supposed to already have them?
I don't recall. I don't think I've put portable water jugs on there.
Yes, it is. It's under.
No, at Earhart, they have a cart they take out with a igloo type cooler.
Recess.
Under recess. And they have it out there, recess for kids that don't bring their water bottle and want cold water. Plus, we have the water dispenser.
So that specifically, I think thinking on my site visits, I think of La Quinta Middle School, but I would have to double check to determine whether or not they have those portable coolers. I know they have access to the water bottle filling stations, which tend to be popular. Kids are carrying their Stanleys or their water bottles, so they do have access to that. But in terms of portable jugs, I'd have to investigate.
You know, looking at that bullet point and looking at all the school site plans, I believe there are some school sites that offer that. But on the recommendations for students, it's recommended for them to bring portable. So I would say you are correct. That is not something that is offered district-wide, but it is something that is offered at some school sites.
So just to clarify, I think that was pulled from the heat mitigation plan. So if I'm, as a principal, looking at my site and what my plan is, and I determine that based on my plan, I need a portable insulated water station, I added that in my plan because it's a need based on what I'm doing. Another principal might not write that down because based on what they've decided to do, that's not a need. So that's where that came from.
Next. For dismissal, you say that we provide shade structures for each site for our students and our staff to be under shade. So have we purchased shade structures, temporary shade structures, so that they have that available until our permanent ones are built?
I think part of that, some of that's tree shade. It's not always a shade structure, but I understand your question. I think what you're asking is, does every school have a place to go that's in the shade? Right?
I'm going to say no, they don't. So is that something that we can look into? And then last one is for Jordan as well. Have all of the tables that we got the list of all of the schools that needed the portable tables, have all of them been ordered?
No, no. And the reason they haven't been ordered was really predicated on the outcome of this conversation. I will say, again, going back to leveraging COVID, and I feel like we did a really excellent job as a district leveraging COVID. COVID or ESSER 3 funds are expiring at the end of this school year. And so if it is the will of the board for us to move forward with the tables, we are going to purchase the tables through a CMAS that the board has already authorized for the purchase of tables. Based on the number of tables, I think at roughly half of the schools, the cost is coming up to around $360-something thousand. The carpet extractors are a little less than $5,000, and we're looking at purchasing 11 of those. And then on a long-range plan, because we have linoleum vinyl tile flooring in our schools, for schools that do have carpet, we have met with maintenance and operations and come up with a sustainable replacement plan for carpet to move towards LVT, approximately 2 to 3 schools per year. We do recognize that some of the schools had their MPRs replaced with newer carpet, and that was as a result of the significant rain event that happened earlier this year. So we replaced like for like with the carpet that was already in there. We've had requests from principals asking for the LVT flooring, and that's to help with the ease of cleaning. The carpet extractors, we feel actually move faster than the floor mops that the schools utilize. So we feel that purchasing the carpet extractors with ESSER funds also is a good one-time use, because we didn't want to commit any of those dollars for ongoing needs.
So I agree with using the ESSER funds. I think that's a smart approach. And just for clarification, the carpet cleaners can still be utilized to clean the flooring afterwards, so they're not going to go to waste after carpet has been replaced, correct?
Ultimately, we see them utilizing them in classrooms as well.
And then, so because the schools that are hosting summer school are most likely going to need to utilize a heat mitigation plan due to the extended summer school, will those schools be able to receive those tables in time for summer school?
So the tables, based on if we were to place an order tomorrow, have an estimation of 10 weeks for the placing the order to delivery. So assuming that 10 weeks in time, we'd have to take a look at the schools, because not all some schools have the ability to mitigate heat in different ways. So I'd have to take a look at the 7 campuses that we have designated for the summer program and do a little bit more of an intense dive into how can we accommodate them?
Okay, does anybody?
Sorry. Sorry. I just want to say thank you first off for your presentation. It's very informative, and I just wanted to give my opinion. In elementary school, we had shading, and it was useful. I remember just the big structures, but at the end of the day, when it was really hot, I just wanted to go inside. And I was in elementary, but I didn't really have a voice to say that, so all we kind of had to do was deal with it and like use the misters. I just remember some of us, it was just really hot some days, and we just had to kind of huddle up together under the misters and be like, hope it just hits us to get rid of the heat. But I genuinely think that the tables would be beneficial, and that if we were to utilize them and then our resources that we already have, if that makes sense. Because for shading, if we had to use those expenses towards that, at the end of the day, we already have structures that we can utilize for ourselves, and we're just making it more beneficial by adding the tables. And then I also wanted to add that, and I know we're talking about elementary, but I'm just going to throw out for high school too. We actually have the quad, and there's very little shading there. It's kind of just hoping that, again, we just get some shade, and at the end of the day, we just want to enjoy lunch. And there's those days where it's completely hot. And recently, actually, since it's been getting so hot, I've been huddled up in the ASB room because I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. I already deal with it for sports. I don't want to deal with it for my lunchtime. So I genuinely think that the tables would be beneficial, and why not utilize our resources if we already have them?
I have to agree with everything you just said. Okay, thank you.
Wait, just one more thing. So we had this discussion in the beginning of the year, and we knew we had to order those tables back. I feel we failed by not doing that. I mean, I don't know what the thought was about waiting to the end of the year to order tables to have them. We know we're not going to get them right away. So maybe I misunderstood something, but we should have ordered those tables already to have them as part of the plan. And I asked during several meetings if everything was set to do that. And
So we were set to do that, but there has been lots of conversation amongst board members. And so quite frankly, I was not clear on based on those conversations, what the desire of the board was. And so we did not order them until this meeting on purpose, because I wanted to make sure that was still the will of the board, because there have been conversations since then.
But now we're not going to get them on time as a result, right?
Yes, we're buying tables, correct?
Correct.
We're buying tables. Do we need a, yeah.
Right, we have a very special presentation this evening. May, as was already mentioned, is Mental Health Awareness Month, and so I will turn it over to Assistant Superintendent Laura Fisher to introduce the team.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, we have an amazing team this evening to talk about our mental health counseling services across the district, elementary through high school. So I will let our mental health manager, Sue Ann Block, start the presentation and introduce the team.
Good evening, board members, Superintendent May Volmer, cabinet members, staff, those that are listening. Thank you for being here. I see a lot of wellness providers. Thank you for being here to support this presentation, but also I want to recognize the work that you do, the emotional labor that you provide for our students and families and staff. During the month of May, DSUSD joins in the national movement to raise awareness about the importance of mental health wellness. This evening, we're presenting on how DSUSD supports mental health wellness for students and their families and for our school staff. My name is Sue Ann Block. I serve as our district's mental health manager, and I'm joined in this presentation by school counselor Ms. Morgan Pita, student assistance program counselors Ms. Christina Fontes, yes, give it up, and Mr. Brian Boyd. We will review how our current board priorities are linked with mental health wellness and highlight mental health and social emotional programming at our elementary, middle, and high schools. While mental health is one of our 3 board priorities, it's the foundation to support early literacy and college and career readiness. To ensure early literacy, students need to acquire social and emotional skills, such as regulating emotions, sharing with others, and following instructions. Students that possess communication and interpersonal skills, self-management, know how to work with teams, have social emotional competencies such as problem solving, having respect for others from diverse backgrounds, critical and strategic thinking, making wise and ethical decisions to prepare, those prepare our students with success in higher education and for lifelong career management. So you may recognize some familiar faces on this slide. Our board priorities represent an investment in our students, and we know that staff well-being is positively correlated with staff-student relationships and fosters supportive school environments. This year, the Staff Wellness Committee launched resources, strategies, and suggested monthly site activities. So while promoting self-care such as coping skills, mindfulness for staff can contribute to positive mental health, those are individualized actions. We know that relationships have a powerful impact on our mental health and overall well-being. The Staff Wellness Committee hosted 3 social events this year that included paint night, bowling, and a staff talent show. So our last event, backed by popular demand, get your bowling shirts out, will be another bowling event at the end of this month. DSUSD has a school-based mental health department of 16 licensed mental health therapists and 2 mental health interns. Fully staffed, we'll have 20. School-based mental health therapists are assigned at each of our secondary schools, and currently 3 split their time between the elementary sites. We'll be adding 2 to the elementary team for a total of 5. School-based mental health therapists function within the multi-tiered system of support to provide access and delivery of mental health services. This year, we're piloting Daybreak, which is a telehealth mental health services for up to 100 families. This is at no cost to them, and it's for families with students 10 years and older. Daybreak Health also provides this support over the summer. We do this in collaboration with our other DSUSD wellness providers, and I'd like to invite Ms. Morgan Pita, who will share how we provide mental health wellness support at our elementary sites for our students and our families.
Hello, my name is Morgan Pita, and I am the counselor at Washington Charter School. In collaboration with the school counselors from Oliphant, Madison, and Johnson, I am presenting on how elementary school counselors support early literacy through social-emotional learning. So since the pandemic, our students are in need of social-emotional support more than ever. At the elementary level, we are committed to making sure our youngest students have the social-emotional support to thrive academically and socially. Counselors provide group counseling in the areas of building self-esteem and confidence, social skills, resiliency, growth mindset, self-control, anxiety, grief, emotional regulation, and empowerment. Counselors are also available to meet with students individually for crisis situations, suicide concerns, and to help them cope with school anxiety and friendship conflicts at recess. We visit all classrooms in the beginning of the year to do a Meet the Counselor lesson. At the elementary school, it is very important for all students to know who the counselor is, how we can support them, and how to get a hold of us. In an effort to make sure all students feel safe and supported, we focus on bullying prevention. At Washington Charter School, I visit all classrooms, TK through 5, and present a lesson on the difference between teasing, conflict, and bullying. They learn the 4 types of bullying and how to be an upstander when experiencing or witnessing bullying behavior. We know that students who feel included and safe at school are more likely to have success academically and socially. Across our district, schools are participating in Start with Hello. Start with Hello is a program dedicated to ending social isolation by empowering kids to reach out, make new connections, and say hello. Students engage in various activities to foster a sense of belonging and inclusion. At the elementary level, students are given a lesson on how to reach out when they see someone alone and how to include that student in conversation or play. Activities include things such as the student council, greeting students in the morning with hello signs, students wearing hello name tags and introducing themselves to new students that they've never met before, students writing positive messages and ways to include others and putting those on display in the quad for all to see. You can see one of my pictures up there. Learning to say hello in a new language and mixing it up at lunch where they sit and eat lunch with someone new. It is an awesome way to kick off the school year and bring the entire student body together. For the past 6 years, we've been celebrating College and Career Day at Washington Charter School. It is a day for our kids to know that college is an option for them. Our message is that if you want to go to college, we will guide and help prepare you. On College and Career Days, students and staff wear college shirts. They can wear college colors or career outfits. Teachers do college classroom projects or assign a family project where students and their parents research colleges together. All students participate in either drawing or writing about what they want to do for a career or where they would like to go to college. This past year, my intern and I were able to present a college lesson to all 4th and 5th grade classrooms, and we went over college terminology, and we also did a career inventory to see what careers best meet their personality. The kids love this day, we do too, and we all look forward to it every year. At the elementary level, our families often are just starting to navigate academic struggles with their child, or they are just learning that their child may have a learning disability, or the family has just received a medical diagnosis for their child that requires additional resources in order for their student to learn and succeed at school. Counselors work very closely with parents and guardians to connect them with community resources to help further their family with their social and academic needs. We help with connecting them with available tutoring resources, parenting classes like Loving Solutions, mental health resources, which can include our district mental health therapists, local outside therapists if the family prefers, Care Solace, Betty Ford Center, Barbara Sinatra Center, Desert OT, which is occupational therapy, Olive Crest, and Ronnie's House. We also connect families with school counseling resources like our group counseling program and our SAP counselors. We also encourage open communication between parents and teachers so that they can work together to best support their student. Next, we have Christina, who will be presenting on mental health supports for our middle school students. Thank you.
Good evening, board. My name is Christina Fontes. I'm a counselor with the Student Assistance Program. My sites are Oliphant Elementary, Indio Middle School, and Amistad High School. Today I will be sharing how the school sites support the mental health needs of our students. At Indio Middle School, we align with schools across the district to support students in achieving their college and career goals. In March, Indio Middle School hosted a College and Career Day, where various guest speakers had the opportunity to come into the classroom and discuss different topics on different careers. Students were able to participate in activities during Start With Hello Week. We had various ASB activities to promote inclusion and kindness school-wide. In addition, the mental health team provides different levels of support to students to reach their academic goals. For example, the team provides academic counseling, group counseling for different mental health topics, conflict mediation, check-in, check-out, and individual counseling. This supports our enhancing students' sense of belonging and giving them the tools they need to manage stress and emotions as they work on achieving their individual goals. Students also have the opportunity to work with our mental health therapists. They get an opportunity to participate in individual therapy, DBT groups, and also seeking safety groups. Next, we'll have Brian with Thomas Jefferson Middle School.
Good evening. My name is Brian Boyd, and I am the SAP counselor at Thomas Jefferson Middle School and Indio High School. Much like all schools in Desert Sands, Jefferson is a school with many needs. Jefferson takes this responsibility very seriously and devotes itself and staff to the overall success of all students in both mental health and career and college preparedness. Throughout the year, Jefferson offers college and career days where various individuals come and showcase their careers on our campus, which is very cool. Jefferson offers many opportunities for students to express themselves, whether it be social emotionally or academically. During lunchtime, this counseling staff opens their doors to students to either play games, socialize, or even take a moment to find solace in a dim and quiet classroom. This gives students an opportunity to get to know the school counselors and know there is a safe place that they can turn to on campus. Jefferson offers many opportunities for students to feel supported within their mental health, such as offering small groups and one-on-one counseling with Tier 2 SAP support. Jefferson also enlists the assistance of outside agencies such as Jova Noble, Ophelia, Care Solace, as well as supports through the Riverside University Health Systems, trainings which include overdose awareness and prevention, teen suicide awareness and prevention program, and resilience initiative through support and empowerment. In September of 2024, the National Suicide Prevention Week, school counselors, SAP counselor, and mental health therapist organized daily lunchtime activities to raise awareness, promote mental health support, and reduce the stigma surrounding suicide. Students learned about the different crisis resource, including, a 24/7 resource, the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, available by calling the 988 or texting NAMI to 741-741. In March 2024, Jefferson proudly held College and Career Week from the 18th through the 22nd, which supported career exploration and development. The Ophelia Project mentorship program has been at Jefferson for 21 years. The Ophelia Project, a program of the JFK Memorial Foundation, is a team mentoring program focused on providing educational and skill-building opportunities for adolescent girls to acquire positive values, increase self-esteem, and broaden their horizons. This program is run by professional women who have been certified in the Ophelia Project model. They live in the Coachella Valley and volunteer their time as mentors. I'm next going to speak about Indio High School. Indio High School is a school that prides itself on being a site where college and career readiness and mental health awareness go hand in hand. Thank you. Indio High School counseling staff meet with students one-on-one during college application time to ensure that all requirements are met or are in progress. During these meetings, as well as many other one-on-one contacts, counselors are able to check in with students, not just academically, but also in regards to their mental health. Additionally, because of the caseload breakdown changes that were made 2 years ago, IHS Counseling is able to ensure that students meet with their counselors every year. By having a dedicated grade level counselor, 9th and 10th grade students are guaranteed to be met with during those years, as opposed to only being met with in the last 2 years, which is what was been happening before. Students only saw a counselor in the lower grades if there was a problem. Since students are seeing counselors every year, they are not taken by surprise by any of the requirements to meet college and career goals. This also allows counselors to guide students towards their post-high school goals in a gradual way, which is less stressful and more conducive to mental stability. Finally, every semester starts with a school-wide student needs assessment, in which it's used to attend to immediate concerns, as well as the basis for the Tier 2 counseling groups and guidance lessons that happen throughout the year. I'm going to pass it back to Christina to take us home with Amistad High School. Thank you so much.
Lastly, for Amistad High School, students have been participating in various activities that promote mental health and academic success. In February, students participated in daily lunch activities during Kindness Week. They had the opportunity to write thank you notes, decorate cookies, and exchange compliments as a way to promote kindness and inclusion. In addition, the mental health team has collaborated to support students' mental health by facilitating workshops ranging on different topics from how to communicate effectively to having a growth mindset. So students who have participated show progress as measured by a pre and post assessment. Students who have participated this year, there's about 43 students or about 20% of the student population, who have received a Tier 2 or Tier 3 social emotional support. This is helping them achieve their goals for academic success as we align with the district's goals. Thank you, and that concludes our presentation, and we welcome any questions.
Yeah, I guess I kick it off because I'm at the end over here. So what a wonderful presentation. You guys are all obviously very qualified and very good at what you do, and I'm very proud of the work that you all perform. I really only had one. I was curious, and you know what? You guys can send it to us later because, but the career inventory test that you do, I was curious about the name, curious about how long it took, curious, little things like that, and if there was a cost factor, but, if anything, later on, you could send it in
Yeah,
the
I
mail.
I'll share that in the Friday letter. I can get it from them.
Oh, okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Duran.
I thank you so much for the presentation. When I wanted to know, what's the youngest that you start with mental, like mental health? Do you start with TK? Do you start with the little ones, just to help? You know what I mean, so that they can learn how to express themselves and
Yes.
say how they feel and all
Yes,
that kind of thing?
absolutely. Yes, TK students have access to counseling. They can be part of group counseling, individual meetings. They're part of all the lessons. I visit TK rooms and talk about the bullying and how to meet the counselor and how to get a hold of me. And
Great.
absolutely,
Okay,
from the
awesome.
first day
Awesome.
of school.
And then also, I know that we have the Ophelia Project. You also have the, what is it, Young Gentlemen, or what is it? The Gents Alliance? Yeah, so you have, that's also part of everything, right? Okay. No, I really appreciate it. I think it's, needed because it seems like, it's great to see the little ones, learn this going through, starting young and then going all the way through high school. It just seems like our children in junior high, seems to me, struggle the most. And I know it's because hormones are starting to go crazy and, they're just going through a lot of different changes. So do you have like a concentration in junior high, or is it just as needed where you guys see where there needs to be more concentration? Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Well, like when kids have a problem, as far as kids falling through the cracks, I just wonder, like, you're doing some sort of an assessment from the beginning, and then you have like kids come in and say if you have a problem, because I just don't know. I don't know if some kids don't reach out. Some kids are like don't want to talk or whatever. As far as having kids falling through the cracks, is there anything in place as far as helping with that kind of proactive therapy or something? I don't know. I'm just curious about that.
So we have various ways that we can identify students. We can pull data. We do a survey, the Panorama survey. When we look at those results, we're able to identify students. For example, if students had scored low on growth mindset, we're able to identify who those students are without them having to disclose or say, I'm having a problem with this. Okay. We also use the request for assistance. Families can use that, staff. Even students can self-report. If they know where that's at, it's on the back of their ID card where they're able to just scan it and then put in that information. But we're really actively searching for those students because we do know there are some that fall through the crack. And so one of our ways to work around that is really pulling that data, looking at attendance, looking at grades, and looking at those surveys that we give to the students.
Yeah, okay. All right. Thank you.
And Ms. Porras, I'll add this, is I'm going to go back to relationships, is that when we have relationships, positive relationships with our students, it doesn't matter if you're an educator and with nutrition staff, if you notice a student who is not themselves, then they can do an RFA, a request for assistance. So I'm with you in terms of our students that don't show up with that externalizing behavior. So those are the easy ones to identify, right? And so that's why we use data such as Panorama, and that's data that from our relationships with them. So that's important for us to thumbs up from the birthday boy.
I didn't want to interrupt and be rude, but hey, they gave me license a little bit for one moment, right? You're absolutely right. It's all about relationships. And I wish more people knew that. That's all I'm going to say today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the presentation. We really appreciate the work that you guys do day in and day out. So no questions.
Thank you for your presentation. I'm proud of our district for how we've added so many mental health therapists and behavioral therapists, everybody involved with counseling. And I remember coming to this district in '95 and other districts would say, you have a counselor in elementary, And so we were really privileged to even start with that. Some districts never had that. So all the things that we've done in the world and the country and the state, I mean, the kids are more aware of mental health themselves. They're not as stigmatized as we were growing up. You don't talk about that. You know, you don't tell people when you have problems. You cover it up, you get on with it, you toughen up or whatever. So it's all a different outlook, and I'm so glad. That was a field I was going to go into. I have a clinical psychology degree, but I never went that way. I went to teaching. But I just love the way that we have so much to offer the kids and all the way that you guys reach out. It's one of the first rooms I like to visit when we go to different schools to see where's your wellness type room or what kind of setting do you have for kids to feel comfortable to come to. And right, like everybody's saying, the relationships, anybody in the staff that can note and just notice a child that just needs somebody to say hi to them and say, how are you, and reach out to them so that they are noticed is really important. So thank you for what you do.
And Ms. Pierce, you'll be able to, since you let us know how long you've been here in the district, is what is so striking is how integrated the wellness providers are. So we're not just a therapist in a room that you go see, and that is something that, something's going on for that student. We're integrated in everything, and we work together.
Thank you. I appreciate all you guys do and your colleagues, so thank you for your presentation and being here tonight. 16, public hearing. Public hearing number 07/2023-2024. High School Advanced Placement U.S. History Textbook Adoption, opening public comment at 9:13 p.m. Is there anyone wishing to make a comment? Hearing none, closing. Oh, sorry.
Good evening, Cabinet and Board. Trina Gonzalez-Alisi, DSTA President. I've risen to speak to a public hearing on textbook adoptions before, and I just want to give a shout out to Desert Sands for the process and how we choose our textbook selection. I've been a part of that. I've been on Curriculum Council before and reviewed textbooks and gone through the discussion, healthy discussion with colleagues who share that curriculum and teach that curriculum. And I also have confidence in the fact that the Curriculum Council members are chosen with purpose. They're purposely chosen to serve on that council because they can speak to the curriculum that they teach. And I just want to give a shout out to Ed Services that I believe that the way that Desert Sands chooses their textbooks is done with integrity, and I would support any decision that our Curriculum Council makes. Thank you.
Public comment at 9:15 p.m. General Functions, Business Services. There are 7 items in General Functions, Business Services, with 17.1 being a resolution requiring a roll call vote. Is there a motion to take items 17.2 through 17.7 as a group or individually?
As a group, Pierce.
Is there a second?
Second, Alvarez.
Any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0. Is there a motion for item 17.1?
So moved, Porras.
Is there a second?
Second, Pierce.
Roll call vote. Mr. Duran?
Aye.
Ms. Porras?
Aye.
Mr. Alvarez?
Aye.
Ms. Pierce?
Aye.
And I am an aye. Motion carries 5-0. 18, General Functions Ed Services. And there are 20 items in General Functions Educational Services. Is there a motion to take these as a group or individually?
So moved, Alvarez.
Is there a second?
Second, Porras.
Any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0. 19, General Functions Personnel Services. There are 3 items for General Functions Personnel Services. Is there a motion to take these
So
as
moved, Porras.
Second, Alvarez.
Discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0. 20, General Function Student Support Services. There are none. 21, General Function Superintendent. There is one item for General Function Superintendent. Is there a motion?
So moved, Porras.
Second?
Alvarez.
Any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0. Consent items, student matters, Dr. May Volmar.
Yes. 22.1, stipulated expulsion case number 23/24-42 on a motion made by trustee Porras and seconded by trustee Duran. The motion carried 5-0 with the board accepting the recommendation of the stipulated expulsion. 22.2, stipulated expulsion case number 23/24-43 on a motion made by trustee Porras, seconded by trustee Alvarez. The motion carried 5-0 with the board accepting the recommendation of the stipulated expulsion.
23, consent items, business services. There are 8 items in consent items, business services. Is there a motion to take these as a group or individually?
As a group, Pierce.
Is there a second?
Second, Alvarez.
Discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0. Consent items, educational services. There are 11 items in consent items, educational services. Is there a motion to take these as a group or individually?
As a group, Porras.
Is there a second?
Second, Pierce.
Any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0. 25, consent items, personnel services. There are none. 26, consent items, student support services. There are 3 consent items, student support services. Is there a motion to take these as a group or individually?
So moved, Alvarez.
Is there a second?
Second, Porras.
Any discussion? Hearing none, calls for the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0. 27, consent items, superintendent. There are none. 28, personnel action certificated. Dr. Hyde.
All right, good evening. It's my honor to announce that we actually have 4 retirements in our certificated group. And these 4 individuals, first of all, I'll just read their names and I'll give you their combined years of service. First is Cynthia Kingsbury, who's served the district for 22 years. Tammy Monroy for 26 years. Glenn Ordonez for 1 year. And Hydrun Paquette for 26 years. In total, there's 75 years of combined service to the district from these amazing employees, so kudos to them.
Is there a motion?
So moved, Porras.
Is there a second?
Second, Pierce.
Any discussion?
Congratulations on making it to the finish line. Enjoy your retirement.
Calls for the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0. 29, personnel actions classified. Dr. Hyde.
Okay, we also have a number of retirements in classified personnel. These employees, there's 3 of them, and I'll start, and I'm going to do my best with their names. Francois DeGrive, she's retiring after 29 years of service to the district. Cheryl McKee, who is retiring as a library specialist after 22 years of service to the district. And then Iramina Sanchez, who is a bus driver and is retiring after 20 years of service to the district. In total, these 3 employees have contributed 71 years of combined service to the district. So again, kudos to them, all 3 of them.
Is there a motion?
Motion, Porras.
Is there a second?
Second, Pierce.
Any discussion?
The finish line.
Thank you for your so many years of service and enjoy your retirement.
Calls for the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries 5-0. 30, call out of closed session items. Dr. May Volmar.
Yes. So tonight in closed session, item 3.2 for a request to postpone a hearing in student case number 23/24-35 on a motion made by trustee Porras, seconded by trustee Pierce. The motion was carried 5-0 with the board accepting the recommendation to postpone the hearing. Listed under closed session, item 3.4, claim number 23-L-07, on a motion made by trustee Porras, seconded by trustee Alvarez. It carried 5-0, with the board taking the action to reject the claim. Tonight, in closed session, item 3.5, the board approved the appointment of the following individual. Classified management recommendation for mental health therapist, Brett Layton, passed with a motion made by trustee Porras, seconded by trustee Pierce. The vote was unanimous. Item 3.6, in closed session, the board took action to approve a settlement agreement for employee 32592, classified manager under the progressive disciplinary procedures, with a motion made by trustee Porras, seconded by trustee Duran, with a unanimous vote to approve.
31, suggestions for future agenda items that receive at least 3 votes. Mr. Duran? Ms. Porras?
I have none.
Mr. Alvarez?
None.
Ms. Pierce?
I don't have an agenda item. I just wanted to say that I trust the different departments with the speakers we had tonight, with the special ed and the incidents at the school site and the bus driver, the bus crossings. Items are all being handled, and that would be good. I felt like what they had to say moved me, and I know it takes a lot of courage to get up there and speak to the board and the cabinet. And also, I want to say that even though I disagree with
Dr. Watson.
Kylie over here, Dr. Watson, that sometimes we disagree, that I respect the decision of the board, and it was possibly several of our members' reason that we delayed the ordering of the tables, wanting more information on the number of heat index days that were affected and the different heat mitigation things that go on. So I just wanted to mention that, and the tables hopefully will then be ordered for the fall season. Thank you.
I have nothing. 32, announcements. The next regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Education will be May 21st, 2024 in the District Education Boardroom, 47950 Dune Palms Road, La Quinta, California, 92253. We do not need to reconvene to close session. This meeting is adjourned at 9:24 p.m.